Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another live stream and a brief managerial update, because obviously you brought the news earlier today that Chelsea had requested permission from Leicester to speak with Enzo Maresca. Well, things have moved forward pretty quickly throughout the rest of the day. Sporting directors Paul Winstanley and Lawrence Stewart have flown out to Marbella to meet face-to-face with Enzo Maresca to get terms of the deal sorted, agree compensation with Leicester, and the deal is expected to be announced within the next 72 hours. So we should, by the end of the week, have Enzo Maresca confirmed as the new Chelsea manager. But the big news really is that Maresca is expected to sign a contract for a minimum of 5 years. 5 years. Minimum 5 years. I mean, what's going on here? A 5-year deal for a rookie manager. So let's make sense of this. So Maresca is going to be given a 5-year deal, yet Pochettino was given a 2+1, and Potter was given a 5-year deal. So where's the continuity here? Where's the thought process behind all this? You know, I don't get it. I honestly don't understand. For me, it strikes of desperation. You know, it strikes of desperation. 5-year contract for a rookie manager is just ludicrous in my view. Absolutely ludicrous. And by offering him that 5-year contract, it means that whatever happens, if he doesn't hit the targets, next season, if he doesn't hit targets next season, then what? You're going to stick by him? You have to. You absolutely have to. You know, a 5-year deal for a manager. Did we not learn from our mistakes with Graham Potter? I'm not saying that Maresca is going to be like Potter and is going to do terribly. We don't know. But a 5-year contract just seems ridiculous. It seems absolutely ridiculous. I'll be honest, it's madness. Absolute madness. You gave Pochettino a 2+1 year deal, and he was meant to kind of bridge the gap, lay the foundations for a proven coach to come in maybe 2-3 seasons down the line if he saw his contract out. 12 months later, we've suddenly given a 5-year contract to someone who hasn't even managed a respectable amount of games in his career. Ultimately, at the end of the day, this whole club, since this ownership took over, has just been built on gambling, just a pure gamble. Ever since they came in, it's just been built on pure gambling. And the only ones that suffer as a result are the supporters. This is a pure gamble. Again, Potter was a gamble, 5-year deal. Pochettino was a slight gamble, you could say. We gave him 2+1 because he was meant to bridge the gap for a more experienced coach to come in. And then you're giving Enzo Maresca a 5-year deal after he won the championship with Leicester, like he should have done. And what else has he done? He's been an assistant of Pep Guardiola, and he had a really short spell at Parma, which where things didn't go to plan. So why on earth is he being given a 5-year deal? A 5-year deal. I just don't understand, guys. You know, where are we going here? The project shouldn't be resetting. It's still year 2 next season of the project. Okay, so Pochettino was year 1. Okay, and then it's season 2 of the project next year. We've got European football, and the next logical step along the way should be aiming to turn that top 6 finish into a top 4 finish and Champions League football next season. But that's a huge ask to expect that from a rookie manager who hasn't got any experience of working at the highest level. Not that it matters that he's not managed a single Premier League game. I don't think that's a huge issue. I really don't believe that's a massive problem that he's not managed a single Premier League game, because let's be real, Mourinho, Conte, etc., Tuchel, when we appointed those guys, they hadn't managed manage an English football before. So he's got credentials and he's got experience of English football, but whether you've managed in the Premier League or not is kind of irrelevant for me. At the end of the day, we've seen managers come in that haven't managed in the league before and have been a success, and we've seen managers that have had plenty of Premier League success and have gone for another job and it's not worked out. So like I don't think that's a huge issue per se, but the 5-year contract makes no sense. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. And as I said, it's the club seems to be like it's just built on gambling, just built on gambling. And it's another huge risk, what's to say that Enzo Maresca is the right guy? Again, they're saying, it's the outstanding choice. We've worked, tirelessly round the clock, and we're really impressed by him. But you said the exact same things when you appointed Pochettino. Thorough and exhaustive process. You went through all his work. You interviewed him twice. The outstanding candidate, exhaustive process. And yet 12 months later, you decided that he wasn't the right technical fit for the club. So what's to say that this is going to be any different? We don't know how Maresca's going to work. We really don't. We've got no idea. But what we do know is that this is the sporting director's guy. You're going to give him a 5-year contract. You need to back him. And whatever happens next season, even if we finish 10th next year, you have to stick with him. Otherwise, it is a complete and utter embarrassment. Simple as that. It's a complete and utter embarrassment. So regardless of what the targets are, if he doesn't hit the targets, then you have to stick with him. You must. It's as simple as that. You must stick. You must stick with him. You have to. There's no excuses now. This is your guy, and this is where you show patience with a manager. If you really believe in this guy, like you say you believe in him, no, it's not. It's a 5-year contract. It's going to be a 5-year contract. Expected to agree a contract of minimum 5 years. Okay, it's a 5-year contract. I don't know what people are not quite understanding about what minimum 5-year contract means. That's what it is. Yeah, Maresca is going to be confirmed in the next 72 hours. What are we doing? Might as well just bring me in for 5 years with a successful FIFA career mode as my experience. It certainly feels like that a little bit. Going to be announced by the end of the week, most likely. Look, there'll be clauses and stuff. At the end of the day, I don't want to be negative, but it does feel. It just basically, this is either going to be a stroke of genius or it's going to be a complete and utter disaster. I don't see there being any middle ground here. I don't see there being any middle ground here whatsoever. It's going to be either be really successful or it's going to be a complete and utter disaster. And you'd have to say, with the decisions that the sporting directors and the structure have made so far, based on the evidence we've got, you'd have to point towards this looking like it could be a complete and utter disaster. I mean, I don't want to be negative. I'm going to back the manager. I'm going to support him. I'm going to get behind him. But I really don't understand. I really don't understand the thought process behind this appointment to begin with. The thought process behind offering him a 5-year contract, what they feel they've seen in him. And look, I'm sure there absolutely are positives. Like, this is not like a dog shit appointment. And I think, the contract length for Pochettino, maybe it tells us now that a 2+1 year deal, they never saw Poch as the guy to lead the project long term. They never saw that. Maybe he was only a stabilizing, experienced short-term option for them. And by offering a 2-year deal, clearly showed that he was never the guy they wanted to build with. And now it's maybe maybe that was the case. And maybe Poch was just there to stabilize the young group and then hand over to someone who suits the squad's makeup better. And Maresca maybe falls into that category. But at the same time, I'm just a bit unsure, people. I'm just really, really unsure on this and why we'd offer a 5-year deal. But this is where we're at. This is where we're at. And I think another issue for me is that, we're in a situation here where Chelsea are obsessed with the Guardiola, the Arteta You know, the Xabi Alonso kind of fairy tale story, the mold of what's going on. And, you know, it's been reported that Chelsea have studied how Mikel Arteta eventually thrived at Arsenal after leaving Guardiola's staff and hope Maresca can flourish in the same way. Based purely on his ability on the training ground, Maresca stands every chance. Yeah, but it's not about your ability on the training ground. That's just a small part of it. I get it that Maresca's had more managerial experience than Arteta before he went to Arsenal. I fully agree on that. But at the same time, what is this obsession with like finding the next Pep disciple, finding, you know, like the next Arteta? Why can't we just do what's right for the football club? And was removing Pochettino and appointing Enzo Maresca the right thing to do for Chelsea Football Club in the long term? We've got absolutely no idea. This is such a big step into the unknown. It is a complete gamble. Yes, there are positives to the situation. Yes, there are some positives, you know, for sure. You know, there's definitely something about him. But at the end of the day, you know, the fact that we've basically removed Pochettino and paid 10, and we're going to end up paying 10 million in compensation for someone who right now is objectively worse than him is a Chelsea thing to do. Is a Chelsea thing to do. But by the way, guys, big up to everyone that's locked in. Smash the likes. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. Every new subscriber really, really helps. Almost 100 in the building, guys. So please do subscribe if you're new around here. It'll be greatly appreciated. Let's run it up, people. Let's run it up. We're on 9,531. Let's try and get this to 9,540. Smash the likes. Subscribe if you're new around here. And let's get on with the show. I thought De Zerbi was going to go to Juventus or Serie A. No, I don't know where De Zerbi is going to go. I wouldn't be surprised. There's possibly a chance that De Zerbi could well end up at United if they decide to dispose of Ten Hag. Let's wait and see. Got bad feelings it could go wrong. Yeah, there's no, as I said, there's no middle point. It could go. It's either going to go well or it's going to be a complete and utter disaster. I don't see there being that midpoint with this, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Yeah, I'd rather Maresca than Thomas Frank for sure. Yeah, I think so. I think so. The way he sets up his tactics work for us. But again, you know, there's no guarantee that what he's done at Leicester and the way that he sets teams up is going to translate across to Chelsea. That's going to be a big unknown. It's not just about translating your tactics over. It's about, can you deal with the step up to the Premier League? Can you deal with managing bigger players and bigger egos? Can you deal with all the external pressures? Can you deal with an ownership and a hierarchy that are very hands-on and like to, you know, get involved when it's not warranted? You know, at the end of the day, Maresca can say that he fully believes in the structure and the hierarchy and all that. Of course, he's going to say that because he wants the bloody job. It's a completely different scenario once you're in through the door. Completely different scenario once you're in through the door. So I'm really not sure. I'm really not sure what's going on here. It's certainly an interesting one, isn't it? But yeah, well, I mean, look, I don't want to say that you know, we're basing it on an all or nothing documentary, but it certainly feels like they've watched that, they're impressed by the Arteta thing. They want to find and develop their own guy. It's an interesting one. It is an interesting one. Yeah, but can I just say, right, Premier League experience is not the be all and end all. Mourinho had never managed in the Premier League. Yes, I know at Porto he'd won Champions League and whatnot, and there was more about him. I get it, but Mourinho had never managed in the Premier League. Neither had Conte before he came. Tuchel had never managed. I know that they've managed at a top level elsewhere, but I honestly don't think it. For me, what would be more of a concern is a lack of top flight experience. Not necessarily the fact he's not managed in the Premier League. It's just a lack of top flight experience. It's a big gamble, and you know, it's a big gamble, and he has to be given time. He has to be given time. It's as simple as that. It really is. You know, And we gotta be honest here. We have to be honest here that whether it goes to shit or not, there needs to be time given. Well, look, we've got a good squad. It's a talented squad. It depends what we're going to add over the summer. I don't know what we're looking at adding at this point right now. And again, look, the championship, right, is probably the championship's a bet is a more competitive and probably a harder league to win than the Portuguese league. Like when you talk about, people gassing up, Ruben Amorim and stuff. Like the championship's a tough league. Yes, he had the best squad and whatnot. And look, he achieved the bare minimum that he should have achieved. But I think people need to be a little bit more open-minded. Am I happy that we have appointed Maresca? Was I happy with the am I happy with the candidates that were on the shortlist? No, I'm not happy with any of that stuff. But ultimately, at the end of the day, this is the route the club's chosen to go down. And you can guarantee that I am going to be 100% behind Maresca and supporting him, because that is my job as a fan, is to support the manager and support the team, whatever happens. Yes, I can absolutely have my concerns over the appointment, but that's nothing to do with that's nothing to do with the appointment. That's nothing to do with the fact that Maresca decides to come. Of course, Maresca's going to come. It's not his fault that they've decided to appoint him. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean, guys? It's crazy. Oh, there's more breaking news coming out, people. Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. More breaking news on its way. Let me just bring this up now. Apparently, a contract offer has been made. Where are we? Let me just quickly find this now. But yeah, you've got to support him. You have to support the manager. It's simple. It's simple as that. It really is. But a minimum of 5 years is a huge gamble. We've got transfer news as well, by the way, guys. But it could mean a return for Willy Caballero as well, former Chelsea goalkeeper. He was part of Maresca's staff at Leicester. Chelsea hope to appoint Maresca in the next 72 hours. Maresca wants to bring 5 staff with him. Willy Caballero, the former Chelsea keeper, is expected to be 1. So it's good that he's going to be bringing his own staff in. That's a big plus, a big plus. Yeah, of course. And look, he's obviously got something about him. They obviously like his ideologies, the way that he plays the game. They were impressed by his in-depth knowledge of the current Chelsea squad. They're impressed by the fact that he plays a possession-based style of football, and he very much likes rigid positional play. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or not. But let's wait and see. But the thing is, though, like it's unrealistic to expect that. If you want that, you appoint a manager that's capable of achieving it. If you're appointing Enzo Maresca, a rookie manager, then you're in a situation, people, where you have to expect that it's going to take time to implement things. If Pochettino had stayed, the natural progression would then be top 4. Yes, you could argue that it's the same squad and there's going to be additions to it, and the natural progression next season is to go to the top 4. But was the natural progression to get into the top 4? Is that a realistic expectation to have with a rookie manager in charge? I really don't know. For me personally, I think that's unrealistic expectation. But it is what it is, isn't it? No, but it's not about having better squads. It's that they've both got better managers at the end of the day, and that makes a huge thing. Do we realistically think that Maresca is going to finish in the top 4 and win the Conference League? I'd love to say that. I'd love to say that, but I can't see it. But am I going to be supporting him every single step of the way? Damn right I am. Damn right I'm going to be supporting him every single step of the way. I really am. Yeah, it would be in terms of the league position, but and this is what I'm saying. Like, we need to. If you're going to appoint a rookie manager, and you're going to give him a 5-year contract, then you're in a situation where whatever happens, you have to stick by him. Whatever happens, you have to stick by him. Yes, he's gonna need to get off to a good start. That's going to be really, really important. You might have a situation where we start the same way that we did last season, where we had 3 wins in the first 10. But what I would say is, though, I'm not writing someone off before they even walk through the door. You can be unhappy with the appointment, but that's not Maresca's problem. Of course, if you're in Maresca's position and Chelsea offer you the job, you are 100% going to take it. Of course, you're going to take it. So, like, I don't understand why people are not getting behind. Why people wouldn't get behind the manager. Of course you would. If you've got issues and anger, direct it at the sporting directors and the ownership. It's not Maresca's problem that the club have chosen to appoint him. And I will be fully behind him, like everyone. And if the target is top 4, then we've got to do everything we can to get there. And if we don't get there, the fact you've offered this guy a 5-year contract means that you believe in him and means that you have to stick by him, whether he does or doesn't, because that's the very nature of the decisions that you're making. State that you're going to have to stick by this guy, regardless of what happens. And yes, the expectation should be to get in the top 4. But is that a realistic expectation for a rookie manager coming into Chelsea in the situation it is? I'm not sure. I'm going to believe in him. Of course I am. I'm not going to waste time being negative about a manager before he's even come through the door and say that I don't believe in him. And I'm not going to support him. I'm not going to back him. Of course I am. Of course I am. Every single manager is going to be backed by me when they walk through the door at Chelsea Football Club, because that is my job as a supporter, to support the manager and back the manager until it is no longer possible to do so. This idea that people aren't going to back the manager because they're unhappy with the appointment, you're going at the wrong person. You're going at the wrong person. Why on earth would any Chelsea fan say that they don't want Maresca to do well, or they're not going to be behind Maresca? Like, I mean, guys, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here? I'm massively underwhelmed by the appointment. I don't think it's exciting. I think it's uninspiring. Okay, I think that it would have been better off sticking with Pochettino for another season. I think we could have maybe gone in a different direction and looked to appoint someone else. I get all that stuff. I get it all. But yeah, top 4 needs to be the aim. But what I'm saying is, if he doesn't get in the top 4, and you've offered him a 5-year contract and you believe this is your guy, then you have to stick by him, whether we hit the top 4 or not. That's all I'm saying, because it just makes an absolute mockery and makes us even more of a circus and a laughing stock if you offer a manager a 5-year contract, you say he's your guy and you believe in him, and then you're binning him off after 12 months because he didn't hit the top 4 in his first season. So what are we doing here? What are we doing here? With the players, a top 6 finish and a deep run in the Conference League is achievable. There is a potential to overachieve on that as well. Yep, look, there's big ifs and buts here. This is big margins we're dealing with here. This is not fine margins. This is big margins we're dealing with here. Huge margins. And to be honest, if we finished, if we were to finish 6th and we won the Conference League, then, and that's a route into the Europa League the following season, I'd take that. Yes, it's not where we want to be, but I don't think if you said a top 6 finish with Maresca and we won the Conference League next season, then yeah, I'd be taking that. I'd be taking that. I will support him if he's confirmed officially and hold the manager accountable by praising/criticising to an extent whether he succeeds or not. Yeah, absolutely, and that's what it should be. That's exactly the way it should be. You think because he looks like Pep and was at Man City, he's the new Pep? Yeah, that's probably the thought process in the boardroom. I know we're bantering about it, but it probably is. I'm going to believe he's a Pep's apprentice until proven otherwise. I think he'll do good with us. Look, there's the potential for this to go well, but equally, there's just as likely a chance that it goes completely tits up, guys. I'll be real. There's every chance that happens as well. And I don't really know which way it's going to go, if I'm being perfectly honest. I don't know what way it's going to go. There's pressure on him. There's Conference League. There's domestic cups. Ultimately, Chelsea need to win something next season. There's always pressure at Chelsea, but we need to win something next season. look, at the end of the day, it's not an inspiring appointment. I get that. But this is the route the club's chosen to go down. I've criticised the ownership and the directors many times. No, it's not been officially announced yet, but everything is pointing that it's going to be done by the end of the week. They're just sorting out the compensation with Leicester, and an official announcement should be done by the end of this week. I've got absolutely no idea what the training's like because I'm not at Leicester's training ground, but I'm doing a video with a Leicester fan tomorrow, which will drop on the channel. So stay tuned for that for more of a lowdown on Maresca from a Leicester point of view. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. It's not ambitious. As I said, it's uninspiring. It doesn't strike me as an exciting appointment. No, absolutely doesn't. But this is where we are, and there's no point continuing to go on about it. There really isn't any point continuing to go on about it, guys. It is what it is. This is where we are, and yeah, I think we're not. I don't know if we're in trouble, but I just think it's a huge gamble. A huge gamble. No, it's not. It's not De Zerbi. Do you actually, mate? You can't honestly believe you think it's De Zerbi when we're literally sorting the deal out now, and it's going to be announced by the end of the week. You can't think it's De Zerbi. It's not going to be De Zerbi. We all know it's going to be Maresca. You know, I get it. You know, like clubs might do smoke screens and stuff, but you're not to this extent. Not to this extent where you're requesting formal permission. The directors are flown out to Spain to sort it all out. And then what, you think we're going to suddenly go and turn around and appoint De Zerbi? Come on. If you're right, I'll apologise, but there's no way. There's no way. It depends who we sign. It depends who we sign. It depends what work we do in the transfer market. That's the reality of the situation, people. It depends on all those things. Not yet, but you know, conversations are ongoing, and it will be happening very soon. Michael's is right. Who do you think was the club that paid? I don't even know if that was true at the end of the day. I don't even know if that was true, but that could well have been Man United. That could well have been Man United if we're being honest. Look, Agbali reportedly liked Roberto De Zerbi's personality, but he's not making the footballing decisions. You know, they presented Maresca to the ownership, and they've agreed that Maresca is going to be the guy. And barring any ridiculous last-minute hiccups, that is going to be the case. And nothing's going to change on that front, guys. Nothing's going to change on that front, in my opinion. Yes, big up, brother. Yes, guys, me and Ant are recording a video tomorrow, by the way, about Enzo Maresca, ins and outs and all that. So yeah, make sure you check that one out. And guys, by the way, show some love to Ant's channel as well, guys. If you're not subscribed to Ant, go and subscribe to him. Leicester fan, make sure you go and show him some love, people. So yeah, please do subscribe. But me and Ant are recording a video tomorrow. It'll drop on the channel tomorrow afternoon or Wednesday. But yeah, the deal looks like it's getting there. Yeah, Carlos Corberán. I've seen TalkSport linking Carlos Corberán with a move with a move to Leicester. So wait and see. But yeah, it's definitely gathering pace. And yeah, that appointment should be confirmed by the end of this week. He is worse than Potter, let alone Poch. How can we trust these directors when they took 3 months to hire Poch? Look, this is the last chance for these sporting directors at the end of the day. They got Pochettino wrong. They got Potter wrong. And now, if Maresca doesn't work, that's on them. And that should be the end of them. They should be finished. You cannot be trusted if you keep making the same mistakes over and over again. You know, and right now, these sporting directors are making hella mistakes, guys. They've made so many mistakes. This is their last chance for me, as far as I'm concerned. This is the last chance. I'm done with them pretty much anyway, but this is now their final chance. This is the last dance for them. This is the last dance for them. You know, it really is the last dance for them. And this has to work. This simply has to work, and they simply have to give it the time to work as well. There's no other way around this, guys. Whether fans like it or not, if we're doing shit, Maresca needs to be given time, because when you appoint your fourth manager in what, 2 years, and you're talking about a project, and you're talking about patience, and you're talking about stability at the football club, and every single move you've made is against all those points you made when you took over, you've got no choice but to make sure that this is the right appointment. You have got no choice in the matter whatsoever. You must stick by this guy. Zerbi's 100% coming to Chelsea again. And guys, I'm not sure if you just want to, if you're in denial or you genuinely believe that, but there's no way. If De Zerbi ends up coming, then it's going to be, this would be the biggest smokescreen of all time, and I just don't think it. I just don't think it. It's going to be Maresca. All the reports are pointing that way. Fabrizio saying it's going to be wrapped up. It's going to be wrapped up by the end of the week, and barring any last minute changes, I don't see that. I don't see that changing at all. It's going to be Enzo Maresca, guys. So if you don't like it, you need to get used to it, people. Yeah, mate. Problem is, bro, we don't give managers time. You know, this whole new thing was like, oh, project patience. We believe in stability and whatnot. And there's not been any of those things. He has to be given time. Has to be given time. Look, at the end of the day, I hope we do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting stuck into it more tomorrow, mate, and hearing more about Maresca, because I'll be real, I don't know a lot about him. You know, I watched a bit of Leicester last season, played some good stuff. First half of the season, I thought was particularly good. Second half, I felt the ideas and that were getting a little bit found out. The second half wasn't anywhere near as good, but you went up and you won. And look, people speak highly of Maresca, but look, I'm looking forward to getting stuck into it for sure. Okay, that's fine. That's cool. You know, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but at the end of the day, I don't see it being De Zerbi. I really don't. Well, for me personally, Pochettino would have been their last chance. In my view, but now we're in a situation where, yeah, this is last chance saloon for them. Last chance saloon for these man. This is their last opportunity. Simple as that. Yes, big up, brother. Big up, big up. I can't support a manager who has agreed to be castrated. We have agreed to a no-name hipster jellyfish spined yes man. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Look, of course, you know, I understand people's I understand people's reservations. I get it. It's not an inspiring appointment for a club like Chelsea. I get that, but you know, I think there will be some positives to Maresca. There will be some positives for Maresca. The football's all right. I've not watched enough of it. I don't know enough about him. But I think, look, for me personally, there's every right to criticise the decision-making and the appointment and all that sort of thing. But there's also the chance, guys, that this could work out well. This could be a genius appointment. But the problem we've got is, people, we're dealing with such fine margins that we've got no idea. Yes, big up to Deshaun. Thank you for the donation, bro. Greatly appreciate it. I'm feeling optimistic there's great potential. Yeah, there absolutely is. There is 100% potential here, for sure. The problem is, though, is that the margins between success and failure are so huge here. There's not fine margins where it could go, you know, it's going to be a little thing. The margins here are massive, absolutely massive. You know, it could literally be anything from a resounding success and a top four finish and winning the Conference League to finishing 6th or 7th and winning nothing and getting knocked out by some Macedonian farmers in the last 16 or whatever. I don't think anyone's doubting the potential, but it's a huge gamble to take on someone who is not got a big body of work to back them up. That's the problem, guys. That's the problem. What's also another problem is, guys, we've got 155 in the building and only 84 likes. Smash the likes, get it up to 100 likes, guys, minimum, and keep subscribing to the channel, people. Let's take some more steps towards the 10K mark, guys. Let's take more steps towards 10K. What are we on? 9,542. There's 155 in the building. 8 more subscribers, guys. That's an easy target. Come on, people. 8 more subscribers to hit 9,550. Come on, guys. Let's do our thing here. Let's do our thing here. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. The video dropping tomorrow. Video dropping tomorrow. Tuchel didn't work. Potter didn't. Well, Tuchel didn't not work. They didn't see eye to eye, and they didn't agree. At the end of the day, Lampard didn't. Well, yeah, but Lampard was an interim. That was never going to be anything. Look, the odds are stacked against Maresca. On the body of evidence we've got to go with under this ownership, it would suggest that it's not like it's unlikely to work on the evidence that we've got so far. Brother, as will I. I was calling for patience with Poch, and we didn't get it. I'm going to be backing Maresca and calling for patience with him again as well. No, I got the Al Hilal and I got my guy Neymar. It is what it is. I'm just a football fan as well. Al Hilal, is it my Saudi team? Maybe. I just like Neymar at the end of the day. I do need to get a Ronaldo Al Nassr, but yeah, I'm just a football fan. So yeah. No, I wouldn't say I was a fan of Al Hilal, but if I had to pick a Saudi team, maybe it's them. But yeah, no, I'm just a football fan at the end of the day. So yeah, repping the Al Hilal tonight. Well, yeah, there's a worry that could be an issue. That is true. There are pitfalls there that we don't know. Are they just going to unequivocally back these guys or not? This is what we're dealing with, people. This is what we're dealing with right now. Yes, big up again. Loving the content that's growing the community. Brother, appreciate you very much. Thank you so much for the donation. Again, it's very kind. Community's growing, people. The community's growing, and it's all thanks to you guys doing your thing. It wouldn't be the same without you. I'll always say that. So yeah, greatly appreciated as always. Oh, look, at the end of the day, I agree. Whether it's 5-year contract, 2-year contract, it's not about the contract length. You can argue till the cows come home about the fact, well, what's he done to warrant being in this position? And I can get on board with that. The body of work that he's got doesn't warrant being linked to a club like Chelsea. But neither does Thomas Franks, neither does Kieran McKenna's, neither does Roberto De Zerbi's, in my view. But this is where we're at. And if he's going to be given a 5-year contract, he's given a 5-year contract. We can moan about it. I don't think it's the right way to go. I think you need to. I think short-term contract, prove yourself, get given a new deal. That's the way to go in my view. But ultimately, we know in football, whether it's a 2-year deal, whether it's a 5-year deal, 4-year deal, 20-year fucking deal, they're not worth the paper they're written on. If things don't work out, the ownership aren't happy, or the managers, or it's not what the manager thought it was going to be, then they're going to part ways anyway. All the contract length means is how big the payoff's going to be when they inevitably get the boot. Lampard did work in the first season. That is true. What else have we got coming in? There's so much coming in. Yes. Big up to my guy Matty Dav in the house. They're all on par with each other, these managers. No matter the manager, we're still going to be supporting the same teams. So who cares? Yeah, bro. I hear you. This is what I've been saying. At the end of the day, the bunch to pick from wasn't great. Every single one was a risk in their own right. Look, every manager's a risk anyway, regardless of who it is. But there's ones that are less risky than others. I think everyone on the list was a huge risk. Maybe you could say that De Zerbi would be the least risky, but his volatile, explosive character, would that fit in with what the ownership want? Perhaps not. But at the end of the day, there's very little between the 4 guys on the list, as you say, and I do agree on that. We're going to be supporting a team. If the guy in the dugout's doing a good job, then great. But ultimately, as long as I don't really care who's in the dugout, just play some decent football, get some decent results, and win. And whoever it is in the dugout, if you start winning, things will change very quickly, and people will get on board with you, or people won't criticize. And that's the easiest way to get on board. At the end of the day, even if there's people that don't like the appointment or aren't going to back the manager, if you win and you show that you're doing some good stuff, then people will get behind you. That's the That's the reality, guys. That's the reality here. I just want to quickly break away from this manager stuff because there has been some transfer news. Apparently, Chelsea have offered a contract to Fulham's out of contract defence centre back Tosin Adarabioyo, 26 years old. He was part of the Man City academy. He could well have been there when Maresca was there. He was certainly there when Joe Shields was there. Chelsea have made a contract offer for Tosin Adarabioyo. Chelsea have stepped up interest to try and beat Newcastle, who remain in talks. More on Sky Sports News now with Sky Sports. Yeah. So Chelsea look like they've offered a contract to centre-back Tosin Adarabioyo from Fulham, 26 years of old. I think he made 130 appearances for Fulham, come through the Man City academy. Would I be happy? He's free. He's a taller centre-back. I don't mind it. Is he better than Chalobah? No, he's not. But I would look at this as a... you can guarantee, right, it's going to be Leicester away first game of the season, or it'll be a meeting with Pep Guardiola. Those are my two bets. We either got Leicester on the first game or Man City, because they'll have a battle of the balls with Pep and Maresca, or they'll have a Maresca return to Leicester. Let's wait and see. It's looking like it quite possibly could be another Joe Shields choice. Big up to the Joe Shields anyway. You know, I don't think we can complain too much about a Joe Shields choice, but let's wait and see. Tosin Adarabioyo, Joe Shields link. I don't know what I think about this. I don't know enough about him. I don't know how good he is, but it was at Man City. Has Joe Shields struck again? Maybe he has, but a contract offer has been made. He was looking like he was going to be pretty close to joining Newcastle, but now Chelsea have offered a deal, and let's wait and see what he does. Would he play more at Newcastle? Yeah, he absolutely will. He absolutely would play more at Newcastle. But does he fancy his chances at coming to Chelsea? He wouldn't have to move or anything. I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting one. What I would say is, I would describe it as, if we do it as a, I would say it's a opportunistic move is what I would describe it as. I think he's a good player. I think he's done well. If this means we're selling Chalobah and then we're bringing in Adarabioyo as a replacement on a free, then yeah, maybe that's all right. Maybe that's all right. Is Scalvini at Atalanta? Is Scalvini at Atalanta? I'm pretty certain he might be. Is he an Atalanta player? I think he could be. Scalvini, Atalanta. Yeah, maybe that is him. I don't know for certain, but yeah. I don't think we need to go too far on that. But yeah, I would agree. It looks like if Tosin Adarabioyo comes in, then like, if Chalobah stayed, right, and we still sign Adarabioyo, that means we'd have Disasi, Adarabioyo, Colwell, Chalobah, Fofana, and Badiashile. Do we need 6 centre-backs at the club? I think we only need 5, in my opinion. So for me, I would suggest that Chalobah is probably gone and Tosin will come in. So it'll be Adarabioyo, Fofana, Colwell, Badiashile, and Disasi as the 5 centre-backs. That would be my guess on things. That would be my guess. But again, I could be wrong. But it's interesting that we've offered him a contract now. It is interesting we've offered him a contract. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens, people. Let's wait and see what happens. Napoli are hiring Conte. Are they stupid? That's probably going to end in disaster. I don't see Conte and Napoli being a good fit. But to be fair, I think he wants to bring Lukaku there with him. So, brother Antonio, you crack on. Give us the 35 million for Lukaku, and on our way. I just feel bad that it's probably the game against Bournemouth. It's probably the last time we're going to see Chalobah play. I just think that was a real shame. Chalobah is a good player, massively underrated. Look, I like it. I think he's a quality player, but let's be real. It's so greedy. It is so greedy, guys. We don't need him. You know, Sterling would have to go. We would, and then we got Esteval and bloody Kendry Paez coming in 2025. So yeah, let's wait and see. I feel like Leicester are taking the P. Apparently, they're considering Graham Potter now. Well, Leicester considered Potter in the past anyway. When he was at Brighton, I'm pretty sure they considered him when. Yeah, look, I would agree. I don't think Tosin is anywhere near as good as Trev. Well, not anywhere near, but he's not as good as Trev. But look, if the club are going down the route of selling Chalobah, which I totally disagree with and think is a big mistake, you'd have to look at the signing of Adebayo on a free Premier League experience. You would call it an opportunistic move, and you probably look at it as smart business at the end of the day. I would describe it as smart business. But you know, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what does happen, because I think it could be a good move, and I think there's very little downside at the end of the day, in my view, because he's not cost anything. It will be modest wages, and it'll be part of a rotation. It'll be part of a rotation at the club. I think it's all right. I think it's okay, if I'm being real. I don't see it as a huge problem, guys. I think I'd be on board with it, but I'm not happy with the circumstances of how we're arriving in this situation, because we should be keeping Trevor Chalobah and we shouldn't be signing any centre backs this summer. But you know, that's another conversation. We offered him the job after Brendan Rodgers. That was the one, wasn't it? That was the one. He was linked after Brendan left. Yeah, I think Potter could be one to watch at Leicester, though. But also there's talks of Potter maybe returning to Brighton. So I don't know what's going on there. But do you know what? I actually rate Graham Potter. I actually think he's a really good manager. And people seem to forget, before he came to Chelsea, everyone was raving about him. He was linked to the England job. He was viewed as the next big thing in English coaching. 12 months at a dysfunctional mess that was Chelsea shouldn't change people's perceptions of him. They really shouldn't. I think he's a very good manager. And somewhere like a Leicester, back in the Premier League, would he want somewhere that's more established as a Premier League team? Maybe. But I think that could be a good fit. You know, I really do think that could be a good fit. Potter at Leicester, and that's kind of a move that I'd like. By the way, guys, 161 still in the building. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new round here as well, guys. But 104 likes. Let's get this up to 120 likes. Come on, people. Smash the like button. It's free. Do your thing. You lot know what to do. You lot know what to do. You lot know what to do. Run the likes up. Subscribe if you're new round here. Simple as that, guys. Osimhen won't come in. No, I don't think he will now. The way that Maresca plays, I'm not sure if Osimhen will be required. I don't know if we'll go for a different centre forward. Well, Chalobah's price tag should be around 50 million quid for a player with 4 years left on his contract, his versatility and his age. But apparently they're looking at letting him go for about 25, which would be criminal. I would be absolutely fuming if that were to be the case. We got Malang Sarr on a free. Yeah, we did. But we also got Thiago Silva on a free. The two contrasts right there. We don't need centre-backs. We don't need centre-backs, in my opinion. I think the centre-backs we've got are decent. I think Colwell's a very good player. I think Badia Shill's a very good player. These guys just need a bit of time. Fofana is a brilliant centre-back. A brilliant centre-back. But he's just had terrible luck with injuries. He's probably our best centre-back when he's fit and playing his best football. I think we've got good quality at the back. Adebayo would be a good addition to the team. I don't know if he'd come to Chelsea because he wants to play again. Because he wants to play. Would he be happy with not playing that regularly? At Newcastle, I think he'd be a first choice. But he'd certainly play from the off because Botman and Lascelles have both got long-term knee injuries. What else have we got coming in? It was in the end. It was too big a step up for him. And, we set him up to fail with no preseason, a bloated squad. Half the guys didn't want to be there and whatnot. I get all that. It wasn't ideal. I don't blame him for taking it. But I think if he could have his time again, he would have turned it down. That's the reality. But I really like him. I think he's a very good manager. I do think he's a very good manager. I really do. No, I think Graham Potter is a good manager. How have we got Enzo Maresca? This club is described as 1 year experienced manager in England. Yeah, but look, again, we're doing it. We're doing potential. This is the equivalent of signing a 17-year-old from Brazil, but with managers. I think that's basically what we're doing here. I think that is basically what we're doing here, guys. With appointing Enzo, the club is trying to achieve the initial plans they had with Potter, but but I don't understand why appoint Pochettino after Potter then? If you were going to always go with a young coach, why didn't you get a young coach in after Potter? Why did you go with Pochettino to try and stabilize things, give it no real chance, and now you're doing up a madness? Yeah, look, Maresca is purely based on potential, because there's such a small body of work to go from. Maresca is purely based on potential. At the end of the day, that's what we're dealing with here. We're just dealing with potential with Enzo Maresca, and that's what you're buying into, his potential and the belief that you feel you can develop him into a top manager. That's what we're going with. I generally don't rate any of our centre backs fair. I think that's a little bit wide of the mark. The players weren't playing for the badge on the pot. No, because half of them didn't want to be there. Pedestrian owners, sycophant directors, and manager from Sunday League. Fair enough. I don't know the manager's Sunday League, but I would agree with that with the directors part of things. I think it's not ideal at all. Yeah, because they're completely different points of their careers. Potter's a lot more experienced. I think, give Maresca more years in the game. He's absolutely got the potential to be better than Potter. But you can't compare someone with multiple years of managerial experience with someone that has managed one season of football. It doesn't work like that. People have absolutely no clue. Arteta, Arsenal, everyone was laughing, but clearly there was potential. Yeah, no, of course. You've got to give him a chance. You have to give him a chance. That's the reality, guys. He must be given a chance. But in terms of this tossing Adebayo, I just look at it as an opportunistic move if it happens and if he agrees. I would look at it as an opportunistic. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Smart free signing for sure. Strong centre back, considerable Premier League experience, 26 years of age, more towards the experienced side, not a youngster. And it's got Joe Shields. It's got Joe Shields' fingerprints all over it. Me and you both. And people that aren't even giving him a chance, I don't know how they can call themselves Chelsea fans, because you should always want, the team to do well and the manager to do well, because if the manager does well, it means the team does well. That is as simple as that. It was very good. People have got short memories. These players aren't bad. We have not got bad footballers at this football club. We simply don't, guys. We simply do not have bad footballers at this football club. Agreed. But at the end of the day, whether he starts well or doesn't start well, this is not on him. This will be on the ownership and the directors, because he shouldn't have been put in this position in the first place. But now that he's going to be in the position, everyone should be fully backing him and giving their full support and doing everything to ensure that you give him the best chance of doing well. Of course, you have to give managers a chance. Of course, you have to give players a chance. I'm not going to write someone off before they've even stepped in the door and give them no chance. What sort of support is that? It's non-existent support. I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be doing that. We need to give these guys a chance. Give these men a chance. Is all I'm saying. What's Leicester's chant for him? We've got Super Enzo Maresca. We've got Super Enzo Maresca. He knows exactly what we need. Colwell at the back, Jackson in attack. Chelsea's going to win the Conference League again. I wonder if we're going to be linked with any Leicester players. I probably wouldn't have thought so. Do you know what? When I was at the game, when I was at the FA Cup game at Stamford Bridge, I'd say who really impressed me, and I think he was named Championship Player of the Year in the end. Dewsbury Hall looks a real player. I know Brighton looked at him in January. There's definite interest there. But yeah, Maresca himself's taken a massive risk as well. I rate the fact that he's backing himself to make that step up. But again, his reputation could take a little bit of a dent if things don't go. It's going to be. I don't know. I like his attitude. I like that he wants it. I like that he believes in himself and he backs himself. At the end of the day, that's half of the battle. You have to believe in yourself and you have to back yourself. And then I think he's got. But that's because Tuchel and the ownership didn't see eye to eye in the direction the club was going in. That's why Tuchel wasn't sacked for footballing reasons. He was sacked because he didn't see eye to eye. But again, there's such polarizing views on Maresca, because of where he's come from, because of his lack of experience. The guy deserves a chance. The guy needs a chance. He's absolutely not the next Pep right now, but he absolutely isn't as bad as some Chelsea fans are making him out to be. I think it's a risk, maybe not a risk from his perspective, but I think from Chelsea's perspective, it's a massive, massive risk. I think it's only win-win for him, because if he does well, then great, his stock goes up. But even if he doesn't do well, he'll be better off for that experience, and he'll probably still have a very good managerial experience anyway. So I think it's win-win for him personally. But let's wait and see. This is exactly the way that I look at it. Huge risk for the football club, but I don't think it's a big risk for him. He's got nothing to lose, because if he goes there and he doesn't do well, no one expected him to do well anyway, and he'll get a chance elsewhere. But if he does go here and do well, the upside for him is absolutely massive. Is absolutely massive. So that's exactly how I view it. It's a win-win for Maresca, but for Chelsea, I don't know is the honest conclusion. Joe Shields has nothing to do with coach management. He is only there for player recruitment. But he reportedly put in a word about Maresca. He knows Maresca from their time at Manchester City together. Maresca's worked with the likes of Cole Palmer and Lavia in the PL2. I think they won the title there. And Joe Shields looks like he could be over on this Tosin Adarabioyo deal as well. Which, am I excited by it? I look at it as a what do I look at it as? Opportunistic. Opportunistic in my opinion. And I probably look at that, if he came, it's a move with little downside in my view. A move with little downside. That's my view on the matter. So yeah, I'd get on board with it. I would absolutely get on board with it. I really would. But yeah, Willy Caballero is going to be back as well. So yeah, all exciting. But Chelsea, Tosin Adarabioyo contract offer. Let's wait and see what he decides to do with that. I'll be honest. Tosin, in my view, wouldn't be coming in as a starting centre back. My guy would be a Conference League centre back, cups, maybe the odd Premier League game here and there. I wouldn't see Adarabioyo coming in as a starting centre half. But would he come in and take Chalobah's minutes? I don't know. I'm not really sure how many minutes Adarabioyo would get. I don't know what Maresca likes from his defenders. Life is about risks, no doubts or self-pity. Absolutely, life's about taking risks. No risk, no reward. If you take the risk, the payoff could be handsome. It could also go wrong. But at the end of the day, you always learn from taking a risk. You always learn. Yeah, 5-year deal. Look, it is what it is at the end of the day. I would expect, by all accounts and things that I've seen from people, like the way that Maresca likes the goalkeeper to almost become an extra centre back at times in the build up. I look at that and think, yeah, he looks like he might be signing a new goalkeeper. That would be my view. That was going to happen regardless of whoever the manager was. They're dead set on doing that. They are dead set on selling those guys. That's just the unfortunate reality of the situation, people. The unfortunate reality of the situation that we find ourselves in. But what can we say? What can we say about it? Yeah, sweeper keeper. Sorry. Let's hope so. But I refuse to be negative about the club the entire time. You know, we've got to have some sort of positive outlook on things as well. And I'm going to get behind this manager. I'm going to support this manager. I'm going to want this manager to do well and for this manager to do the business. But sweeper keeper, I think another keeper is going to be coming in. I don't think Maresca will be happy with Sanchez and Petrovic. That's just my thoughts. I think a new goalkeeper might well be required. But look, it depends what Maresca wants. Is Maresca going to get what he wants? No. He might make some recommendations, but ultimately he's going to work with what he's given. And I've got no idea what Chelsea are going to give Maresca this summer. We don't know. We don't know what he's going to get given. It could be anything. It literally could be anything, guys. It could be anything. People, still 163 in the building. Smash the like button, guys. Get those likes up. Keep subscribing to the channel as well, by the way. Have we reached 9,550 yet? Let's have a look. 9,549. We need one more subscriber, guys, to 9,550. That should be light work. Guys, hit the subscribe button. Help me move another step closer towards the 10K mark. Do your thing, guys. Smash the likes and subscribe. Tosin Adarabioyo. And to be fair, with all this manager stuff as well, by the way, it's been very quiet on the transfer front. We've had no links to strikers. We've had no links to any real players, really. And now this is kind of, this Adarabioyo thing is sort of just, yeah, it's kind of come out of nowhere. It's kind of come out of nowhere. I know there was an initial sort of interest in him, but let's wait and see. Adarabioyo, adds a bit of height to the back. Maybe that's what we're looking for. Maybe that's what Maresca wants. I don't really know, but it depends what we've pitched to him. It depends what we've offered him. It depends how we spun it to him. It depends if he's happy to not play that often, or it depends if he really wants to go and play regularly and he feels he's going to get a better chance at Newcastle. We don't know right now. We really don't know. That's the reality of the situation that we are dealing with, guys. Yeah, he'll take. By all accounts, he wants Lukaku, but I don't know what else he wants. No, I'm not backing the director's decisions, but what I would say is that managerial decisions haven't been great. Who knows what's going to happen with Maresca? Right now, it strikes me as very uninspiring, but let's wait and see. In terms of player recruitment, it's been better. It has been better, and they deserve praise for getting it right with the likes of Petrovic, with the likes of Cole, with the likes of, Palmer, Gusto. You could say Madueke to a degree is starting to show some potential. They have got things right. They have got things right. What else have we got? I have a good feeling about this appointment, but Maresca will need Chelsea fan support. Yeah, he will. Lavia Casado as well. That sort of thing as well. It's important, guys. It is important. We've got good players. Let's see how it fits into the system. Let's see all those things. And ultimately, let's wait and see. Yeah, I think we do. I think we've done quite a lot of business over the years. We had, what did we have? We did the Fofana deal. We did. We loaned you Casadei for the first half of last season. He should have stayed there for the whole season, in my view. But we've done that. What else have we done with Leicester over the years? I don't really know, but I can definitely remember Cassidy, obviously just this season. We did Fofana. Have we signed anyone else from Leicester? Oh, Ben Chilwell, of course, as well. Ben Chilwell. How could I forget? Ben Chilwell's won a European Cup. Oh, yeah, shit. Fucking, yeah, Kante as well. Drinkwater didn't work out. To be fair, in the end, you got a decent deal for Drinkwater because that move basically, looking back at it, that basically finished Drinkwater's career. That was the end of it. How did I forget about Kante, by the way? How did I forget Kante? But yeah, there's been a lot of business over the years. There has. So yeah, the relationship's obviously good. And it's all right, that, isn't it? It's all right, that. So what else have we got here? Yeah, of course. God, that's criminal that I forgot Kante. That is so bad. Apologies to the legend that is N'Golo. But yeah, I wonder if Chelsea are now, if the appointment of Maresca suddenly accelerated Chelsea's interest in Adebayo, because, as I said, City Academy knows Palmer, knows Lavia, knows Shields, also knows Maresca. I wonder if there's any coincidence that's suddenly sprung into life now. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. Oh yeah, of course, Mark Schwarzer as well. I wonder if that's anything to do with it. But I'm excited to see whether this happens or not. Really excited to see whether this happens or not. But look, it's tough right now. It's not, Chelsea aren't in the best of places, but we've got to try and be positive next season. We have to try and be positive heading into next season, guys. But let's hope. I've supported Chelsea all my life since Roman took over. Sorry to hear about your cat, brother. That's the wrong one. Who's something to someone's cat? Oh yeah, there. Yeah, sorry to hope you're doing well, brother. Yeah, sorry to hear about your cat. What else have we got? Where do I think we'll? Fair. I hope not. Where do you think we'll finish? I've got absolutely no idea. If you're asking me right now, and I've not seen the transfer window, I would say 5th or 6th. If I see the transfer window and the preseason looks promising, maybe we could finish top 4. But I suspect we're going to finish 5th or 6th. But let's wait and see. But that's Tosin. That's the latest on Tosin Adebayo, guys. Contract has been offered. I guess we've got to wait and hear back from him. Have we stolen a march ahead of Newcastle on this one? I'm not sure. And only time will tell. Only time will tell. But we are going to wait and see what happens on that one. I suspect top 5, top 6. No, we're definitely interested in him. We're definitely interested in Elise. We're going to push for that in the summer. Let's wait and see what happens. I hope we don't get rid of Martson. No, Martson's done. Martson's finished, mate. There's no way Martson stays. I don't think it was a manager thing at all. The club are going to sell him. Yes, big up Wes. All doing well. Tosin is developing. He can become really good. Well, he's 26 though. How much more developing is there to do? I think he'd be a good squad signing, but at the end of the day, is that what he wants to do for the next step of his career? Does he want to go somewhere where he's not going to play regularly? But for what do I know? The plans could be to play him regularly. I've got no idea. I take 8th if we won a cup. Yeah, look, to be fair, if we finished 8th and we won the Conference League, we're in the Europa League next season anyway. So, let's wait and see what happens on that. I don't think we're getting a points deduction though. We do need silverware, absolutely. To be honest, I think winning the Conference League is more important than where we finish in the league, in my view. That's just my thought on it. But yeah, I could be wrong. Brother, I think you're going to be waiting forever for that. Well, certainly for a few years. Maybe De Zerbi will manage Chelsea at some point, but I think we just got to accept it is going to be Maresca now. But yeah, I'd say 5th or 6th and win the Conference League would be my prediction for next season. Oh yeah, shit! You lot have done the Conference League, haven't you? Yeah, but you had decent though, didn't you? Have like PSV and stuff. You had some good ones in there. I mean, I've looked at the pots. The pots are, Jesus, the pots don't look great. But yeah, I've forgotten you boys had done the Conference League. Do you know what? In a sort of a weird way, look, it's not where we want to be, but there's a little part of me that's looking forward to it in a strange sort of way, just because it's the unknown, and just because I'm not saying we're going to win it, but we're going to be the best team in there by an absolute country mile, an absolute country mile. The pet model, bald and bearded. That's what they're going for. Yeah, but that's decent though. Rome, Eindhoven, and Rennes. That's like a little cultured European tour. Yeah, there's going to be a few shitholes chucked in there, but I don't know what else we've got. But do you know what's even worse, bro? We've got to go. We've got to do, because they've revamped all the European competitions now. No teams from the Europa League are dropping into the Conference League, and then we've got to go in a playoff to even qualify for the new league stage. So we've got some. We like, you should see some of the teams that we could face in the playoff. Literally never heard of a single one of them. We've got a two-legged playoff in August to get into the new league stage because they've reformatted the competition. Wouldn't mind going to Turkey, Greece. Would be decent. Maybe go to Besiktas if we were to get them. It would be great, wouldn't it? It really would be. But guys, let's have a look if there's any more news to go through. And then I will look to round this one out. Let's check if we've got any other news to go through. Let's have a look, guys. Let's see. Let's get off that. So we've gone through the Maresca stuff. We've gone through the Adarabioyo stuff. Is there any further stuff to go through? Obviously, we know we're not getting a Jordan sponsorship deal. We know that. We know Maresca's getting a 5-year deal. Apparently, according to Jacob Steinberg, that Kieran McKenna turned Chelsea down, but then there's been reports to the contrary saying that Chelsea phoned McKenna to say that he wasn't getting the job. So yeah, that could be bollocks. That could well be bollocks. But guys, I think we have pretty much gone through everything. I think we have gone through everything. So I'm probably going to round this one out here, guys. Big up to everyone that has locked in. What have we said here quickly? United, Liverpool, Classic Spurs. We have a very good chance of competing for the top 4. Yeah, look, it's on. It's on. Yeah, that seems ridiculous. St. James's Park? No, Newcastle are in the Conference League. Yes, big up. Well, look, we can't fall much further. Let's see what happens. I live in Sweden, so I hope we play Elfsborg. Yeah, of course. Big up to all the Chelsea fans in Sweden. Yeah, of course. There is a chance we could get Elfsborg. Let me just go through a few comments in the chat. I'm scared though. Villa and Emery lost the Conference League. Yeah, look, the Conference League's definitely got tougher since West Ham won it, but there's some better teams in there now. But the fact that no teams from the Europa League are dropping down is that makes it a little bit easier. What do you think about negative Chelsea accounts already spreading nonsense about a manager? Yeah, no, it's not for me. I don't agree with any of that. We should do. Yeah, we should do. But yeah, guys, I'm going to round this one out now. Big up to everyone that's locked in. Thank you for all the support. As always, double stream today. Are we back tomorrow? 5 p.m. UK time tomorrow, unless there's any big news beforehand, in which I'll try and get on before then. But I'll be back at 5 p.m. UK time tomorrow. Big yourselves up, guys. Love for all the support as always. Smash the likes on the way out. Please, please, please hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Trying to head towards 10K. Every new subscriber helps. So subscribe. Smash the likes on your way out. Guys, tomorrow I've got a video dropping with a Leicester fan, Anne, who's been in the chat. Big up to Anne. We're going to be doing a video on Maresca. So that's going to drop either tomorrow or Wednesday on the channel. Stay tuned for that one. Until then, guys, I'll be back. I will be back Wednesday, 5 p.m. So tomorrow, 5 p.m. I'll be back. Love for the support. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Up the Chelsea and peace out, people.